So before we get started in today's video, we do have some new hoodies on the website right now. And with every purchase, we are gonna be throwing in some goodies like an extra shirt or a lanyard or even a koozie. So check out vTuned.com and copy something. So now let's get into the video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are gonna be back to work on our Honda S2000. As you guys know, we went ahead and stripped everything down on this car and it's pretty much ready to go. All we need to do is start doing all the body work. I wanna knock it out because there's a lot of dents on this car. It's been sitting at the goon squads for a while and it's, it's an older car. So there's dents like on the fender, a couple dents out on the doors. And then as you guys know, we did replace this quarter panel over here. So we're gonna have to start grinding everything down, grind all the welds down right here and basically get them all prepped for body work. Cool thing is we don't have to do any body work on the actual quarter panel because the way Honda made it was freaking smart, where they didn't fold this edge in and we didn't have to do any bending over there. And then we do have our used door and our used fender, which does have some body work that needs to happen over there. And the cool thing is we do have our maxi dent system, which will be put to use on this car because there's a lot of dents here and there. So let's go ahead and get started. Check this out, guys. We actually got a pretty awesome care package from Eastwood Tools. They sent us this set of body hammers. Let's go ahead and check them out. Check this out. Bam! These things are freaking sick. We got a couple of dollies, a couple of hammers. This is gonna help us shape all the metal perfectly on this car. And then we also have another tool from Eastwood that they've actually recently introduced. Let me go ahead and show it to you. And it is called the Contour. This thing is actually pretty cool. Supposedly it has like a 3-inch, I think, how big is it? No, it doesn't say how big it is, but it has a big old sanding thing on it. And supposedly it takes off paint really easy and it's much better than grinding. And we do have a little bit of body work over here that I wanna really get rid of all this paint right here. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this thing open and see how it works. Open and see. Cause I've seen this thing online quite a bit and a lot of people say it's a beast, so go ahead and open it up. Dang, check that out, guys. It's like a big old sander. I guess it has like a scuff pad on there for now, but we do also have some other wheels. So I definitely want to test this thing out because, guys, grinding paint off with a grinder, stuff like that, it kind of just sucks and it takes forever. And I think this thing will work good. So let's grab an extension cord, put this baby to use. All right, guys, so we have this little area right here. As you can see, it's dented and there's a lot of paint on it. So let's see what this thing does. So guys, check that out. It literally took that paint off in seconds. And I'm guessing this isn't even like the strongest one. This is kind of like a scuff abrasive. But it's nice because it leaves the metal nice and smooth. It's not like a grinder, because grinders actually, whenever you start grinding it, you're actually taking off parts of the metal too, so that weakens it, which this thing is cool. But I want to try out one of these other things. Check that out. We even have a wire wheel, which is freaking insane. It's going to help us out so much, especially on the Mustang, where there's a lot of stuff that's going to have to be grinded before paint. So I want to actually try out this other one. There's an 80 grit one. Let's see what that actually does, because this one works pretty good too. And the new one slides on just like that. Let's give the 80 grit a go. That is freaking awesome. Guys, I'm actually pretty impressed by this machine by Eastwood. It's a Contour SCT. So if you're ever doing any metal work or you need anything cleaned up, definitely go ahead and check it out. I'll go ahead and drop the links down below in the description. And also we're gonna go ahead and grab a marker. I wanna go ahead and mark everything. I just really wanted to test it out. It's been sitting on the shelf for like 3-4 days and I had to just give it a go. Works awesome. Now what I'm gonna do is grab a marker. We need to find every single dent on the car and just mark it, and then we'll start grinding everything down, bust out the maxi dent, and get all these dents pulled out perfectly. We're basically just gonna sand all this down like this. Right here, we're gonna get rid of all this. Bam, all right, any more dents? Quarter panels. A little bit right here. It needs attention. Attention to detail. Put something right there. A little something going on there. Passenger, driver side, look at this. Dent here. Down here. All right, guys, so we marked every spot that we need to do body work, and honestly, it's not too bad. Like dent, the door has like a couple dents. The fender's a little bit like wavy, so we might have to like literally glaze the entire fender. But that's all right. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is basically just start sanding down all the spots that we have marked. And I did go ahead and actually put the wire wheel thing on the contour, and it does an impressive job actually. Usually wire wheels don't really work too good, but I'm gonna go ahead and just start sanding everything down and get everything ready for the maxi dent puller. So guys, we got all the dents sanded with the SCT contour, and guys, that thing is freaking awesome. We got everything sanded over here, sanded over there, and everything up there. Now what I want to do is actually go ahead and just start sanding the areas around, because as you guys know, look, this car has been repainted, and I definitely want to get rid of all the old clear coat on the entire car before we put any body filler anywhere, because you know you have to feather the body filler into the paint. And we don't really want to feather that into crappy paint because it's literally just peeling off. So basically what we're going to have to do is grab the DA sander and just sand all the clear coat off the entire car. So guys, we kind of went a little too far and I sanded off all the paint off this quarter panel, and that was because whenever I was doing the DA, I was sanding, there was a lot of Bondo in this area right here, which I didn't like. So you know what, with that contour, it literally took us probably 30 minutes to get all this paint off right here. And honestly, it's the better way to do it, because there was, I think, like 2 layers of somebody's paint that they had painted this thing, and they did a horrible job. And you really don't want to be painting over old paint, because then if it fails, your good paint job is going to fail. But now that we have everything nice and clean, we can go ahead and get our Maxi Dent Fix equipment and go ahead and start pulling out all these dents right here. I think there's one right here, and then we're also going to have to work this area right here because it is kind of indented. I don't see why they didn't even try pulling it out. They just literally slapped Bondo on there. And then we also just went ahead and got this area cleaned off right here. which is awesome. And I'm super glad they didn't paint inside here. This is still all the factory paint, and the factory doesn't really put that much paint like in the insides areas right here. So all we have to do is sand that down, and then once we prime everything, we'll prime everything together just to give it all one nice coat of paint. Because you will notice, like, if there's a lot of coats of paint on a car, it kind of just looks weird and it's never flat. So that was the best way to do it. But guys, what I've decided to do is we're basically just going to knock out basically all the parts that are on the car and cannot be removed. Like these two, I want to get these two quarter panels done, and then we'll move on to the door. I think we might actually get our friend with the sandblasting company to come out here and just sandblast all this old paint off here, because I really don't want to be taking all off over here, because, you know, the quarter panel is a small area, so it was pretty easy to do. But this would be nice if he could just sandblast all this and sandblast all this, because there's like Bondo bodywork on this fender everywhere, and I don't want to be putting primer or anything on old paint, especially the stuff that this is. It's literally peeling off, and just in the future it could ruin it. So I don't know when he can come out and actually sandblast these parts, but it's gonna be nice to just go ahead and get this, basically the entire rear area knocked out, because this is a lot of work. You know, we gotta bond all this, and then we still have to grind down all the spot welds. So I wanna get all this bondoed and in primer, and then hopefully he can come out sometime this week and do all that. And then pretty much after that, we can get this thing ready for paint. It is time. So guys, we got the Maxi Dent system all set up. We're gonna go ahead and set it to the perfect one. Turn the bad boy on, and let's go ahead and just start knocking out all these dents. So guys, we got this dent out perfectly. It's nice and flat, and it was kind of deep, but it came out pretty easy. The Dent Fix equipment, man, that thing is an absolute machine. And then we also went ahead and ground down all these welds down here. So pretty much both quarter panels are ready for some body work. All we need to do is start mixing some filler. Evercoat Gold. This right here is worth more than gold. I absolutely love this body filler. It is a little bit pricier than the other stuff, but it's a lot easier to sand. And on top of that is gold. Look at that.
Sure is a lot of body filler.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff we gotta fill, boss. So we got body filler on all the dents that we needed to, and guys, honestly, all the dents came out really good. Literally put a super thin layer over all this. Most of it's gonna get sanded off. I also went ahead and did all the filler work on the quarter panel. Everything turned out good, so now all we have to do is wait for it to dry and then get to sanding. So guys, it's the next morning here at the shop. We got the body filler all nice and dry. Now it's time to just go ahead and start sanding and get this thing ready for primer. So guys, check it out. We got all the bodywork done on this quarter panel, and honestly, taking off all that old paint was literally the move because I don't have to feather in any of the bodywork into paint. I literally just feather it into the metal, and it feathers so much better and so much nicer. So we got this side done right here. We also went ahead and got this dent over here knocked out really actually quick, because with that dent fix equipment, you pull the dent out basically almost back to factory spec, and then it just needs a light thin coat of body filler, so that's good. And then we also went ahead and sanded all this down right here, but now it's time to just go ahead and tape everything off and get some primer laid down on the car. So guys, check it out. We got the entire quarter panel in primer, and honestly guys, it looks absolutely perfect. Stripping all that old paint off with the SCT contour was definitely the move, because we got rid of all those old layers of paint. And then the first coat that we did with out of the can, that's actually etching primer. It's made to go directly onto metal. Like this primer here, I think you can throw it on metal, but it's better to throw an etching primer because it kind of etches itself into the primer. So this thing turned out good. We got everything primed in over here. I didn't really prime that much on this quarter panel because I think once we do sand everything down, we are going to seal the entire car with a white sealer, because yellow paint, it does need some type of base coat, because if you try to just throw yellow over this, yellow is a very poor hider. So we definitely will be sealing everything, and I don't want to have too much product on the car, because as you guys know, or even if you don't know, usually when there's too much product on the car, the paint kind of just looks weird, and you want it to have that nice crispy look. But we got all this nice and primed in. All we're gonna do is wait, get all this sanded down, and basically the body's ready to go. Like, we'll take off a couple more things inside. I want to cut this windshield out for sure, because this little rubber seal right here, it is jacked up. So I guess it's just from the sun. And we're definitely going to take out the windshield, and then we can get all this painted. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is pretty much paint this entire car just like this. Paint the engine bay, paint the door jambs, paint the quarter panels, and then we'll also go ahead and paint the backs of the doors and then slap the doors on there, slap the fenders on, and then resand everything and paint the entire car in one go, just so all the gaps and everything will be perfect. Because you definitely want to line everything up and then paint it, so you don't have to really line stuff up after there's fresh paint on there, because usually you can chip it and stuff. But guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We got all the bodywork done on the car, so everything is basically perfect. It's ready to go get sanded and get painted. But if you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also follow us on Instagram, and don't forget to check out the cool merch on vTuned.com. You guys see it in the beginning. Thanks for watching.